Hello, y'all. I am going to do a new moon reading. I'm going to tell you that the new moon is going to be on September 17th, and for people in the UK or GMT time zone, it's going to be at 11 a.m. Now, it's in Virgo. What is Virgo? I'm going to read a little bit about what Virgo is about. I use a book to do new moon wishes, and it's called New Moon Astrology by Jan Spiller. So she describes the new moons, and she describes the new moons in the signs and what they are significant of, what they are important to be concentrating on. So Virgo is a very practical moon. It is about organizing, it's about strategizing, it's about efficiency, it's by being helpful as well to other people. It's about having a certain order, a certain plan. But it's also, you can be very perfectionist with this moon. So sometimes you have to take a step back and not be too perfectionist. It also rules your health, your physical health, and exercise. It's good for starting new routines, and that can be a new diet routine, it can be a new way of eating, but also a new way of exercising, but also a new way of working, of being practical. So you can write your new moon wishes, which is always a good thing to do. And while I'm telling you this, I'm going to put down the cards. So I already shuffled the cards, and I'm going to lay down a few cards here for the new moon reading. I don't do reversals, so if there's a reversal coming up, it's going to be here. So I've shuffled the cards. I cut them before I started the reading. I'm now pulling some cards here for the environment. Oh, that's a good, nice one, especially with this new moon. Okay, that makes a bit of sense, really. And then you'll see that I'll be pulling some more cards on these basic ones, as I always do. And let's talk about your new moon wishes. So the new moon wishes is a good thing to do with every new moon. It will help you get in the direction of your goals. So write them down. What she says, what Jan Spiller, if you want to read the book, I'll put a note in, a link to the book. So what she says is basically you write down handwritten 10 wishes, handwritten, on the day of the new moon. And that can be up to 2 days, up to 48 hours after the new moon. So 11 a.m., so you have 2 days to do that. So there's no excuse to not do them, and 10 is not a lot. And you can either do the wishes as the new moon indicates, so the things of the new moon, which is health and work and practicality and efficiency, but you can also do them, in general wishes that you want to do that are important for you. So that doesn't matter, you can do those. Now, full ahead on the new moon reading. So this is the environment. These cards for me, in view of the new moon, there is a lot of creativity. It can be a very creative new moon. If you take the time to, you see this is the Ace of Wands. Ace of the Wands is a card of creativity. So if you take the time to, to think about what you can create, but also which creative actions you can take, it's a very happy card. It's a card of, I also see the leaves falling and the sun surrounding the wand. So for me, this is like a protection of the sun. It's also to take the inspired action, to look at it, to leap the cliff, but also to let go of the things that don't work. And why do I say that? Because here we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a figure standing and looking at the water. So water is emotions. The fish is, is a symbol of sudden inspiration, but it's also a symbol of, protection, love. And the cups here, the cups are really the emotions. So there's 3 lying down and 2 standing up. So looking at this new moon, I'm thinking here, and again with these leaves here, I'm thinking leaving behind some stuff, keeping some stuff. There needs to be some closure, there needs to be some things that you have to decide, listen, this is not working, this I may need to just leave it. It doesn't matter, but I just need to leave it because it's no longer of use. And when I look at these cards here, this one especially is, for me, it's like, you know, the beginning of, because it's an ace, but it's an ace of swords. And for me, aces is, the swords is like cutting through the bullshit. It is a card of, you know, okay, let's start to cut out excess, to cut out things that don't serve me, to cut out, you know, yeah, the things, the bullshit really, the bullshit stuff. And let's focus on what is important. And why do I say that? I mean, the rest of the cards here indicate a lot of that as well. So we have here a page of pentacles. Pages are also beginnings. They're also immature cards. So it feels like there is something new brewing. And this can be something creative, something grounding. Pentacles is usually something that values our money. But there is some ideas. There is some strong energy here. And it feels like, you know, there is getting help in that as well. This can be financial help. It can also, you know, this person is giving help to these people. It can be that. It can be actually, you know, money help, but it feels like more help so that you can feel more relaxed. I think this card is a little bit of a card of stepping away of the frantic energy. The frantic energy where you're all over the place. And this could be that card, you know, a lot of stuff going on, and that makes you tired. So you need to step away from it, step away from doing too much, step away from, you know, the bullshit activities, so that you can create space for new stuff, create space for this page that is, you know, standing in this fertile garden. And look at the bright yellow behind him. So there is this creative idea, something that can be started, something new, something fresh. So you know, like putting a seed in. With the help of cutting the bullshit, you can make this happen. You know, because this card also sort of, you know, when you cut out the bullshit, you sort of use the sword to cut a path and to cut a way for this page. Now, I'm not doing them in order. Sometimes I look at the cards and, you know, sometimes these cards all work together. And why am I saying that this is very important? And these two cards are very important because we have the sun here. So there is all things can lead to success. All things can lead to joy and happiness. And there is a need for more joy because, you know, we are tired. This is sometimes a card of boredom, but I think it's also a card of, you know, always doing too much. So we need to step away. We need to rest and reflect so we can cut out the bullshit. And this new moon in Virgo is really very good for that because, of course, Virgo is about efficiency. It's about cutting out the crap that makes you inefficient, that makes you distracted from things. But sometimes before we can do that, we need to reflect on how to do that and to reflect on, you know, how to integrate the best things we have and to integrate our new idea, our new creative seed, how to integrate that, how to take the steps towards that so that we can move along. So I'm going to pull extra cards here. Now, I'm going to soon start a Patreon account in which you can have this reading. And I will do a basic reading, but this basic reading is just what it is. It's, you know, basic. Now I'm going to pull some more cards. And for some of you, it will say, oh yes, that card is really me and that card is really me. So basically, it's the extra cards can be for you as an individual. Sometimes it gives deeper insight in what is really happening. So I'm going to pull a few extra cards on this one. Okay. So I'm shuffling them. And as I'm shuffling them, like they come up sometimes, you know, I'm just pulling them. This deck has been shuffled before. It has been... Okay, that's very interesting, especially, you know, this card is quite telling. It's another card of a figure. Okay. Fears. I love this queen. Because it's such, okay, this one wants to come out, can come out. King of Swords, Ace of Swords. So like the beginning and the end. The first card, the last card of the Swords. Ace of Wands, I like that with that one. And again, it's a repeat of that one, of that Ace of Wands. Okay, that makes sense with that one. So I never know what cards are going to come out here. So for me, sometimes it's very insightful as well. Yeah, of course, new beginnings, transformation. Okay, so that's a double down on the cut the bullshit one for me. I'm going to do one extra card and then you'll get a message as well. So, okay, that one wanted to jump. This last cards are what's called the After Tarot. Oh, that's a beautiful one to end with. Now let's have a look here. This was also the last card. And okay, we'll get a message out now as well to see what's happening. It's a bit of a message, a bit of an advice. Oh, that makes sense. Surrender, surrender. I'll do one more. Oh, okay. Surrender and transformation. So let's have a look here. So we have this Page of Pentacles. So first of all, have a look here. This is the last card of the deck, of that deck. So I turn it around and I take the last card from the bottom. There's a lot of change going on at the moment, and we know that, you know, we can see that in our world, in our day-to-day. I mean, everything is changing. Nothing is the same. I mean, this COVID thing has done a lot to sort of, you know, change the notion of ourselves, but also to change the notion of our values. It has changed things we find important, we may find less important or even more important, depending on where you were before it started. But there has been a lot of change, and there has also been a lot of new opportunities, a new way of doing things. So for you, this new moon, as I said, the seed, planting a seed, starting. And you know, it's good because this card, of course, is a card of worrying. A lot of things to worry about. And yes, I get it with this going on and with the COVID one. Also with this, that, you know, you also have to let go of some stuff. It is worrying. It is a card that can be a little bit hard. These have not been easy times. This year has not been easy at all. And we still have a Mars retrograde going on. So for me, that, you know, is still a bit of a difficult energy that is there. And that will be there until around mid-November, more or less. Worry. Yes, worry. But worry can also sometimes... it can hold us back. It can hold us back here. It can hold us back here. This one here as well. But we need to cut through the bullshit. And you know, these three cards, I mean, they're self-explanatory, isn't it? Almost, if you can see, cut through the bullshit, cut through the bullshit. starts afresh, a new beginning, a big transformation, the card of transformation here. So yes, where was I? Where did I get this one from? Oh yeah, here. This star was here. So, sorry, got a bit confused there. Now, the Hierophant is normally a very traditional card. It is a card about structures. But it can also be a card about, you know, either teaching or learning. So either you're this one or you're these people. So you can be the teacher, a mentor. And so this new beginning can be you as teaching something, but it can also be you as learning something. In the respect of Virgo new moon, yes, learning, teaching, why not? You know, be practical, have a structure, create a structure around your idea, around the seed you want to plant. You need to create a structure, and creating a structure means that you need to make some choices. Again, here we have a sword. We have like the angel holding the sword, so ready as to cut through some connections that are not good. And this can be connections with people, can be connections in with situations, with material stuff, with values that no longer serve you. But there will be choices. You need to make choices. You know, you have here 3 people, and this is like the angel who knows it all, more or less. I don't see that angel coming back. Yeah, well, here it is. Judgment. Here is another angel. But the choices will need to be made. And the choices... yeah, you have to become more practical. You have to work with this energy of change. You can also say, I am not working with this energy of change. Now, don't forget that Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus in Taurus was there the last time around the time of the Depression. And, well, there was a lot of change there. There is a lot of change now, also financially. Taurus rules money, rules values, is ruled by Venus. So there is a lot of change. It's also very important. Venus, also beauty, but also the love of people, love of the planet, really. It feels like there isn't a need to protect this planet, to make something new. And that Uranus is that change here going on. And that change is also here in the Tower. It's like, you know, the Tower is something that sort of rips away the carpet from under your feet. It destroys structures, it destroys your foundations, and it makes you reevaluate. I don't, you know, it's sometimes a scary card. It is quite dark, that the lightning is there, everything is being destroyed, and there's this dead person lying here. But, you know, sometimes, and forgive me if there's a dog either snoring or farting or whatever, it happens in my home. I have 6. So you will hear them once in a while. Now, this is the foundations that sometimes need to go for something new to come about. And here again, we have the 2 of Swords, like the blindfold, not knowing, you know, really what is going to happen, what is going to be next, what steps am I going to make? And that's also choices. Again, duality, here duality, here duality. Choices need to be made. And at this moment, sometimes you may not be very sure of where a certain choice is going to lead you. And that means that you have to leave some things behind. Again, leaving stuff behind, going on a path, explore. Kira, stop snoring. Anyway, sorry. So going on the path, exploring, because, you know, the foundations you've created may no longer be good for you, and they need to come down. They need to come down, change. So what was this saying? So we said, you know, this is like reflect on things. Now, when we reflect and when we get quiet and we go into ourselves, what often happens is this one comes out. That little voice in the back of our head, I can't do it, what the hell, I'm so afraid. card of fear, you know, also the card of being, you know, tied or thinking that you are tied to something. And it is not being tied to something, because if you look at this, these chains and the people here around their necks are loose. They're not obliged to stay with the devil. They can choose to walk away from the devil. So you can choose to walk away from your fears. But it will come up here. Reflection, things that no longer serve you, to throw them out. Of course, this was going to stir up fear, and we have the Tower next to it, yeah. But why am I saying, you know, don't let your fears rule? Because your fears are there. They're sneaky. They will come in. They will work, you know, under the surface, and they will be there. But there is this beautiful card of judgment. Judgment is a card of rebirth. It's a card of like illumination. You get enlightened. You know which next step there is, and it's not only that it comes from you. It's sort of like an outer power, or whatever power you believe in. And this can be the universe, this can be God, this can be Allah, this can be Sri Ganesh, this can be Buddha, whatever you believe in. There is something that's calling you, something bigger than yourself. And it's still calling you to take this action, you know, to work with this new seed. Okay, so the Sun. I love that on the Sun, the After Tarot is this card of you know, harvesting. She's, you know, she has the money here. She has like the money. I'm not saying this is financial money, but it's like a foundation. There is a groundedness. There is a stability in this card. And there's also, she's picking the grapes, as you can see here. So there is this harvesting going on. Now, these are almost all, you know, all of them are good cards. Look at on the Sun. So we have the Sun, this card of success, the card of joy, the card of happiness. And here we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the most emotional queen. I mean, it's a queen that is in charge of her emotions. It's not like it's a hysterical queen that can't handle herself. It is the queen that, you know, she is emotional, but she knows how to deal with those emotions. So there is this quality of, you know, following my emotions, following my intuition. Water is also a symbol for intuition. There's a lot of, you know, little angels. This one is holding a fish. I don't know if you can see it. Let's keep it up. Ooh, this camera is not really a good one. So she's holding a fish here. And yes, so this queen is very intuitive. And it is about following your intuition, following, you know, what your heart wants, not what your mind is telling you, you know, cut the bullshit. Because then wishes will be fulfilled. This is also a very happy card. If you know, if you look at this card, you feel happy. You feel like, okay, everything's coming together. People are joyful here. There's all the things that you need, all the wishes that you want are coming together. It's all coming together, whether that's your business coming together, whether it's your home, whether it's your family, your relationships being in good things. And again, here we have that, you know, bullshit cutter. I mean, this is the master of bullshit cutter. This is where you start cutting the bullshit, but this is where you are like, okay, this goes out, this goes out, this, you know, you're like proficient at it. You really become proficient at it. And that's what needs to happen in order for you to be happy, in order for you to feel the joy and the success. It really needs to happen, because if you do that, here is the harvesting, the reaping, the rewards, the you know, I mean, what can I say more than these cards together, especially then, you know, these, let's just see this as an advice card, because it was, remember, it was one that wanted to come out, one that jumped. So let's see this as an advice card. For these cards to happen, you need to do this. So let's have a look here. That was that boredom, but also that doing a lot of stuff at the same time and not seeing where you're going. We have here the repeat of that, you know, that very creative card, that very also action-oriented card. This card and this card, of course, they're different decks, but there is a repeat of that a beautiful card that gives you the opportunity of doing something new, of starting something new and creative, of taking that action that also is here brooding. It has been brooding there. It's not like it's something new. It has been there. It's only now that it's really, you know, time to get it out of the sleeves, you know, to say, okay, all the bullshit that you had that kept you back from doing this and from doing this, just, you know, throw it out. Again, here another card of reflection. That reflection. Also, I think this card and this card is also a little bit like, okay, I've learned so much, you know, I've been thinking about this for so long. I've been looking inside myself, and now it's time to do this. And sometimes you may need a little bit of help. Not doing everything to yourself, taking a little bit, you know, a step back. That means that sometimes you can have a little bit of help. And this could be like, for example, by a coach or a mentor or somebody who is actually physically helping you out, doing stuff for you. Like maybe you need somebody, you're doing it all by yourself. Maybe it's an idea to get somebody to help you clean your house if you're really tired of that. Or maybe it's somebody who helps you out in your business, like a PA or a virtual assistant, or somebody that is doing, you know, you've been doing your website and you really don't know what you're doing, or you know what you're doing, but you're not the professional. Get the professional in, yeah? That is a little bit of that here. Collaboration, and that can be in various ways. It can be also, you know, saying in the family, listen, hey, hold on, I am the one who's cooking, I am the one who is cleaning. Now let's divide the tasks and just, you know, let's sort it out, help it, you know, because I'm not doing that any longer. Change. Foundations gone. I'm not doing everything any longer. So you see how the card, because this is a general reading, you know, I'm looking at various aspects of life, and whatever I'm saying here, I know for sure that there will be things that you say, hold on, that is really me. And then you'll say, oh, but no, can't do anything with that because really that doesn't apply to my life. And I get that. So, you know, really always the cards, I can't do a general reading and address everybody's specific needs and specific events, specific situations. Of course, I can't do that. That's why it's a general reading. But there may be things or part of it that you say, hold on, that really resonates with me. And you take that with you, you know, the part that really resonates with you, take that. You don't have to take it all. So we here had that Ace of Swords, that bullshit cutter. Because when you cut the bullshit, you can transform. Again, here, this and this, they're lying underneath each other. Foundations that are being ripped away, but that can be also you taking away, will lead to a new beginning, will lead to a big transformation, a new way of being in this world. So again, here we have another. So we had the King of Swords, we have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Ace of Swords. So there's lots of, this card is a bit more aggressive. You know, this is the beginning. This is more aggressive. It's like, you know, there is like progress here. You're cutting the bullshit much quicker. And the Star, I think it's a very beautiful card to end a reading on, because the Star, look at the possibilities. You know, all these stars in the heaven, the possibilities. And it's, again, the water, the intuition, the emotions here. Follow your heart. Don't follow your brains. But do follow your brains and be rational when it comes to cutting out the bullshit, yes? But then have a look what's in your heart and not what's in your head. What do you want to do? What do you want to do with your heart, not your head? What do you want to do that, I mean, you need the money, of course, you need money, you need help. But sometimes we are so stuck in the earning part that we don't follow our hearts, and that we are doing what we don't like to do. So how can you incorporate? I'm not saying, you know, quit your job, go and do your side hustle. I'm just saying that if you really take an honest look at what you're doing, what you love, what you don't love, lovers, and you start step by step, you don't have to do it in one go. You start by cutting out, you know, those things that no longer serve you, possibilities and new ways of being, but also, you know, new ways of being. Here, transformation, transformation, here, transformation. I mean, there's a lot of cards of transformation here, and this one here, change. And the possibility, you know, it's there. It's not like it's, you know, I'm not saying this out of the blue. So it opens up all these possibilities, and then so you have to really connect to your heart, your emotions, and your intuition to see, okay, I've done this, I've gotten rid of that, I'm no longer going to do that, but what am I going to do instead, and what can I do instead, and what can I do that brings me joy, that brings me happiness, that brings me success, the sun. And the sun is there, so it's not like it's not there. Okay, so I'll read to you what the mantra is. All is well, I surrender to my inner guidance. Inner guidance. Where is the other inner guidance? We had here the Queen of Cups. Yeah, the Queen of Cups. Inner guidance. I think this one is also a bit inner guidance. This one, inner guidance. Here again, the Hermit. Inner guidance. So follow that, follow the inner guidance, surrender to, you know, whatever is there, whatever is present, and go with the flow a bit more. So don't work against, you know, don't go against this change, because this change is happening whether we like it or not. COVID is here. All aspects of our life are literally changing constantly, and this change is not going to go away soon. It's there. And it's also there because Uranus is in Taurus and will be there for quite a while. And the last time it was there, it caused a lot of changes, you know, fundamental structural changes, and that people had to adapt. And we have to adapt as well, and we have to surrender to it. And that doesn't mean you have to just drown in it, but it does mean that, you know, the more you try to flow, the easier this change is going to get. And then the transformation card, which we had here as well. You know, we had that in the here. We have that here. Where else? Where else was transformation? Well, it was a lot of transformation. This card for me is also transformation. This as well, change. I am joyously centered and safe as wonderful changes occur around me. Changes around you. Changes, changes. What else? Here, changes. So there was lots of changes, lots of change happening. Here, change as well. You know, change always means letting go and doing something new. I mean, this is exactly the definition of change. It changes structures, it changes who you are, it forces you to make choices. It is worrisome, it is a scary thing. Where was that? Oh, the two. So you have to make choices. You have to follow certain new possibilities, and sometimes it's trying and failing again, yeah? And that is what change is all about. And now, again, so this is the new moon reading, new moon in Virgo. Write down those wishes so that you can direct your wishes, your dreams, your desires, your goals. Write them down and see what happens. You know, light a candle, take a few deep breaths, get a dedicated journal so you can have that. You can do that every new moon, because you can do those wishes every new moon. Maybe get a book so that it helps guide you on what the wishes are specifically for in Virgo. But also remember that you can have general new wishes. Hi, there. I'm Christel, and I hope you liked this reading that I did for you, this new moon reading. And it is my plan to make more of those, to make at least a new moon and a full moon reading in an extensive way every month, and also create weekly readings. Now I'm still figuring out how to do that, but You can find me on Patreon. Patreon is an online platform. I will put a link in here where my platform is. And it's an online platform and community and membership sort of service where you can access my readings in different levels. So you can access a basic reading, or you can choose for a higher level and access a more extensive reading, or these new moon and full moon readings. That is up to you. What Patreon does is it makes you my patron, so you support me in a way, so I can create this stuff for you and to help you out and to share what I know, because I really love tarot and astrology and all that sort of stuff. Now, I am still figuring out the ways of Patreon, but it is also my intention that as a life coach who deals with toxic relationships specifically, I want to add resources and maybe even a community about that as well. But that is all in the makings. I'm still figuring out how to do that, how to incorporate that. But it is on my list, on my to-do list. Now, if you want a specific reading for you and not a general one like these ones, then go to my webpage, which is christelvangelder.com. Click on Tarotology, and there you'll find the readings I do. Now, I don't do readings in person, and I don't do readings over Zoom or Skype unless I really, really know you very well. But because I do these extensive, very long readings, which take a lot of energy and a lot of concentration, I do it the same way like I did this new moon reading. So I film it and I incorporate your energy in there. And then I film it, I combine it, and I send it to you so you can watch it and watch it over and over again if you want to, or watch parts of it. And that's my idea to do that. So that page will launch as well very soon. I'm working out the finer details, but it's nearly all ready to go. Even my Patreon account is also ready to go. So I'll put in the links below the video so you can't go wrong. And I will let you know when we're live with the readings and with Patreon. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you either over there or on my website or on Patreon. And I'm very grateful to be able to be part of your life, and I do hope you enjoyed it. And so bye for now, and I do hope to see you again.